Ball, dunks.
Look at Strong running the floor out in front.
UConn 73, UCLA 57. The Huskies moving on to the Sweet 16. We're going to chop that up, talk about it, all sorts of stuff. I'm sick as a dog, by the way, tonight, guys. Super sick. So, hot balls, flu game here for me tonight. We're going to muscle through. We always muscle through. Nobody puts themselves through more physical abuse, pain, strain, than myself or Hurley Mania, my illustrious co-host. I had fun in the first half. I had a lot more fun in the second half.
For Kirk King, for Eric Hayward, for Brian Fair, for Rudy Johnson, for Natambu Willingham, and for American hero Steve Empt, justice for the 1995 Huskies. That is the final blue blood that UConn had never beaten, and what a time to do it. That was just what a response by the team tonight when, UCLA, it's a 7 seed. It's a good team in the second round fighting for their life. They hit you with a big shot because that's what normally happens. And UConn took the blows and they picked up a steel chair and they hit them directly in the face. Just an incredible response to punch back when that thing felt like it might be getting hairy. And the entire game is my favorite player, famously, Alex Karaban. Just all-time legacy game from Alex. That was get on my back. This shit isn't ending tonight like this stuff from Alex. He was incredible. 27 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. He had a block. He played 36 minutes. Was just sensational. 16 in the second half. Unbelievable all-world Captain America shit from Alex, who was just the best player on the floor tonight, on a floor that had a lot of really amazing, talented players. It was just Alex time after time after time after time that allowed them to pad that thing out late in the first half. The first 5 minutes of the second half were a disaster, and then he just grabbed the mic and let it flow. And for about 6 or 7 minutes, then it went back the other way. UCLA made the big push to cut it to, I think, 5, and then UConn just hit him with a kill shot. But it wasn't just Alex tonight, but it was mostly Alex tonight. And he deserves all the credit in the world. That's a building he's always played great in, I feel like. But tonight, he's never been better.
Yeah, no, for the last couple of games here coming up in his UConn career, it seems like he's saving the best for last. So thought it was great to see tonight. Gutsy night too, just understated. We'll get into some other guys here, but like the tip of the cap to Silas and Malachi, for holding down the fort tonight. Particularly, Silas being, definitely not looking like he was 100% tonight. I felt like that was pretty safe to say. But the two combined for a whopping 4 points tonight, 10 assists, but just really held down the fort. I thought Mally, obviously the stat sheet isn't bursting, but like just everything you could have hoped for him, and more holding the fort down tonight. And then, I'd probably be remiss if I did not mention Jaden Ross.
Oh,
good Lord.
Prince that was promised.
Good Lord. He was awesome tonight.
What a heater that first half was, especially. I know we got to talk about Alex mostly, but we know Alex is really good. Yes, even I know that. Jaden tonight was 2 years of all the hype in the biggest stage. Here, we're just throwing the bucket right on the floor. And Mick Cronin, go deal with that. Absolute cyborg.
He's unbelievable, man.
He was so critical tonight too, especially with Silas with the injury, because this UCLA team has an incredible backcourt, in terms of like the athleticism with, Sky Clark, Donovan Dent, obviously, what they can even get from, Perry at times. And they needed somebody that was going to be able to lock him up that wasn't just Silas with one ankle. And the minute they we've been saying this for 5 months, and it's just never going to change, unfortunately. The minute they bring him in, it all looks better. And now Now he's contributing offensively.
Yeah.
And I can't believe Dan took him out. We were seeing a portal to the fifth dimension.
There was about 4 people in my text threads I had like 5 separate conversations going on, and everybody's eyes were beet red.
Well, it was two-sided because they were also putting Braylon back in, who was struggling. And so everyone was like, this is probably the angriest individual substitution you could make right now to make everybody mad. And to give Dan credit, like Braylon got much better. And that's why he gets $8.5 million, and we're screaming on this website at 11:49 on a Sunday night, our earliest show in weeks. Yeah, but Jaden with the 9-0 run in the first half, but the defense was so key. I thought he looked largely himself defensively. Like it felt to me like he was clearly, in on that side of it to just, you've got to lock down Donovan fucking Dent. You've got to lock down Sky Clark. And they held Dent to 2 of 9 from the field, 1 of 3 shooting. I got to pull up his splits for the half. Yeah, Donovan Dent did not make a field goal in the second half. That's an incredible defensive performance by this team. And it's yo-yo between the offense and defense, the offense and defense. Tonight was, for me, all about the defense. Just an incredible performance against one of the best backcourts in the country in terms of individual talent. And I'm just really, proud of the whole team, Alex primarily, but Malachi Smith, man, the first freaking, let me do the math. The first 34 games, I don't care. These last 2 games make up for the whole damn thing. He was incredible this weekend. He was more than serviceable. He was really, really good this weekend. And when they needed him, when they didn't have another option on Friday and they didn't have a ton of another option tonight, what they got out of Malachi Smith, especially in Jaden Ross, was just a tribute to the power of perseverance for those guys to just push through it, and the coaching staff to keep believing in those guys. And like, this is Mally's one shot with UConn, right? His one shot at the end of his college career on a team that can win it all. And he is making the most of it. And I'm just so proud of him, in addition to Jaden and Alex. And it's really cool to see because, Malachi's been, taking the arrows all year in a lot of these situations, and justifiably so, but he hasn't bitched about it, hasn't gone nuts on social media. He's just been quiet. And when the chips were fucking down tonight, he was nails.
Yeah. I mean, I thought he was great tonight. Shout out to the bench too. 17 points tonight off the bench, like getting them rolling, I thought great to see. Just all around, I thought a really good team win tonight. It was really kind of almost a relief, to see Braylon get a couple to fall from 3. It's so weird, dude. He's so good in the mid range. Hasn't missed a beat in the mid range, and he's just struggling from 3 right now. But, look, we said this at halftime, like you got to let him shoot it, especially when he's wide open. Like you can't it's not going to like not correct itself if he's not shooting. And with some of those guys, you just got to let them go and shoot through it and, hope for the best. And sometimes it works, sometimes it won't. But with guys like that, they see a couple shots go down, they start to get in rhythm again, and it comes back pretty quick. And I thought he looked great tonight, but, just a phenomenal job in the mid range, getting to the free throw line. We were 19 for 21 from the free throw line tonight, which was great to see.
I believe they made 18 of the last 19. I think Jaden missing the and one was the first free throw they took. So just, that too. Hey, by the way, that includes when we're talking about Terrace Reed, 4 or 5 at the line.
Oh, incredible.
Yes, please. I think, sorry, I cut you off. I think Braylon he's fixed. I think we're good now. First NCAA tournament, all the focus, the physicality in the first half, having watched the Furman tape, UCLA, just when we said it in the halftime space, they just were attacking him physically and seeing if he could deal with it, and he couldn't, and then just turnover. But Braylon, the mental strength to stick with it and to really break out a little bit at the end is great. The turnovers are concerning, but at least he got the shot down. Solo.
Woof.
You need your Friday, buddy. It's a rough weekend for Solo, but they can flush it. It's like the Malachi thing. It doesn't matter if he hits it on Friday, but it was rough. It was really rough.
Yeah, that's probably his worst game I've seen him play. Pretty safely. That run in the second half was an all timer with the 3 missed threes, and then
I couldn't believe one of them didn't go in. I
know.
I felt bad for him in
I
that.
did too. I just don't think he just didn't have anything tonight. Like,
Yeah.
you're going to have some games like that, but woof, man. That was a tough one for him tonight. But really, outside of Solo, I thought they got what they needed from everybody, which was great to see. Turnovers are still a thing, man. 16 turnovers is brutal. Like, they can get away with it with a UCLA and some of these teams that are like in the good category. But man, oh man, if they're going to play Duke, particularly St. John's, in that Elite Eight game, not going to have to worry about it against Florida in the Final Four, by the way.
That is correct.
Smell you later, Gators. I was
Gator
like,
boys, stay dead.
Whoever said that, whoever tweeted that, this is Todd Golden's first Sweet 16 that he's ever going to miss. Oh,
No. Oh,
that's catching a barrel. What a tweet.
Ooh.
What a tweet.
Standing 8 count.
What a tweet. But, yeah, they're gone.
Solo in a 2 for 17 from 3 funk. He's just got to keep shooting them. I mean,
They have to shoot them. I said it at halftime. We're not winning a national title if we're not hitting threes. It's just, there's no pathway to that. So.
Yeah, there's no version of this where it's like, man, if only we got Solo a little more mid-range. No, that's.
Yeah.
So I hate to live produce you, but he's requested it, and I know it's late, and he's a normal person, and we aren't. Do you want to bring No Escalators up first, so he can gloat about
do
Alex?
Some wiener and whiner in a little early.
Yeah. Well, you're also sick. I don't want to make
sick, and you guys can carry my fat ass for a change. How about that, huh? Me, Mr. Big Time. No, I'm just kidding. All right, hot dog. The NCAA tournament is here. The good folks at Martin Roll Souls are here to help keep you fueled so you can keep foot on gas throughout the year. Hot dogs, kielbasa, sausages, deli meats, you name it. Not only can you grab what you need for the big game at their retail store at 45 Grove Street in New Britain, they'll even bring the meats to you and ship them across the country. That's Martin Roll Souls, official sponsor of the Connecticut Basketball Spaces Wiener Weiner Line. And folks, it's time to get to the meat of tonight's show. And by that, we mean the Martin Roll Souls Wiener Weiner Line. We'll be taking calls and check-ins for the next hour. I wish somebody would hit me with a sausage right now. I'm exhausted. All right, gotta get some people rolling here. No Escalators, lead us off, my friend.
Yeah, so the first thing I want to do, and this is quite important, is I want to deliver a message from our mutual friend Annie, which is Hurley Mania. You are a wait. Let me look this up. Hurley Mania, you are a fucking idiot.
Okay, that's fine. That's fair. I mean, if she really had any stones, she would do it herself. But whatever.
Well, she's even more normal than me, so she's probably in bed. But
she was in the queue. She was in the queue, and she scurried away. I figured she had a bomb to throw at Hurley Mania. She may come back. You never know.
I love Annie.
I heard he was just going to be on the bench, and we'd have to get used to that. Does anybody recall tweeting something like that?
It's just all there is to it.
Should I scroll back through my text to the Marquette game where Hurley Mania said everything negative he ever said about Alex was true?
By the way, the text exchange that you had with Jared Kotler, where he said you should be forced to eat one of Lucy's diapers.
He should be.
He should be.
That'd be up there with the jelly beans incident. Thank you, Jared. I appreciated that Jared was like sticking to his gun. No condiments. No condiments.
No, you got to go all in.
I don't even get salt. What is this? All right.
Look, it's tonight feels great. We're gonna have a very interesting and bank account draining Sweet 16 and Elite 8. But that's what it is, and I feel awesome. This looked like the team that even without Solo clicking, you hoped they would be. One sequence comes to mind to me, which was after UCLA had the 8-0 run after UConn's kill shot. They were pressing, and Malley broke the press, brought it up. They passed around the horn, and then they got it to Terrace inside, who hit the layup. And UCLA still played like good through that sequence, but it was just a very calming, and that was like, oh, this is the guy who. This is why even if there are things about his game that are imperfect, this is why you bring in a fifth-year senior, all A10 style guy to be your backup point guard. He can get the ball across the floor in the moment where it matters most. And, credit to him. It is not fun to be forced into this position where you have Silas is hurt, is not at his best. And, Mally didn't need to score 30 points tonight to really provide the value. He was just a steady hand. And I think after a season that probably was not quite exactly what he expected it would be, he deserves a lot of love because he was super important, and he's a huge part of the reason that they're going to be playing on Friday.
Yeah, and I thought about that when UCLA called the timeout just before the under 4, when Mick had to call it, they ran a really good set out of it. UCLA, the defensive switching that specifically Malachi and Terrace had was insane. It was so good. I'm going to go watch it 3 times tomorrow. It was the sort of thing that you don't think about it in the flow of a game normally, but just they ran this really intricate set to try and get an open look, and Malachi and Terrace just read the whole fucking thing. It was incredible to see just them step up in that game, specifically Malachi, when all this stuff drops and it's on him. I love Alec Millender. Salute Alec Millender. He did an amazing thing on Friday, but it wasn't really an Alec Millender game tonight. And so Malachi, it was all on him because we don't know what Silas's ankle's really like. Zuby landed on it. I don't think that's a comfortable experience. No escalators. I'll ask you, how do you think Silas, percentage-wise looked health-wise? I thought 75 maybe. There was no reason for him to force the offensive issue. So I thought he looked pretty good. I'm probably just being copium, but he didn't look
I thought he looked good, and he's going to have a full week to recover. But I have noticed Annie has rejoined the spaces, so I would like to say again, so she can hear it, you're a fucking idiot.
Okay, sure.
I just want to make sure it's on the record multiple times. I can't wait to look at the Spotify transcript of this. But look, he was banged up. He clearly was not 100% himself, but he was out there, and honestly, I would have given him fewer minutes given the way the game ended, to just chill a little bit and be ready, because I think we have a war ahead of us on Friday, and then Sunday, if we get there, we can talk about what the rest of the bracket looks like. But today was
World War VI Sunday,
a very good day. I feel like for UConn and for what the future is going to be. But I am so happy for these guys that they are through this, that my mentions are not going to be horrible for the next 4 days, that I was never all that nervous after, even in the first 10 minutes, when UCLA was up, if you ignored what happened once the ball left a player's hand, as I always recommend you do, UConn just looked better, and they were. This was the team being very good. And to get through this first weekend where you didn't have Silas last time, you had partial him tonight, you haven't had Stewart at all, and they have to feel awesome. Imagine the bus ride back to Stores tonight. They have to feel fucking incredible. And I'm happy for them. They should.
Yeah, it was funny. We did that halftime space, and immediately the first 2 minutes of the second half, it's UCLA hitting stuff they don't really hit, but the Bruins finished. They only shot 2 of 8 from 3 in the second half, which is more like, the team that they are. And UConn withstood a couple of body blows from that. I mean, they were trailing with 15 to go, right? It wasn't like the lead got cut, they were behind, and 2 really, really impressive kill shots. I think it was 2 tonight. There might only been 1. I know there was a 9-0 in there, so that wouldn't count. But yeah, just great to see the poise from these guys to push back, and the defensive side. And that's a dynamic offensive team, and they held UCLA in the second half to 0.774 points per possession. It was really impressive to see. And then eventually, on the other end, UConn's going to start hitting the threes, and Braylon knocks 2 down, really hits 3 because hits the 3 free throws on the other one. So great to see that bounce back. And on to Friday when the prices I just tweeted, they're at a point where I don't even feel bad about not going because I have to pay for daycare. It's insane.
Well, we'll see. Apparently, UConn's going to release ticket information tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. It'll be tight, but probably worth it. I feel awesome for them. I feel awesome for Braylon to have it start to click in. You think about it. It is easy a decade removed, and him on the West Coast to forget how much we used to hate Mick Cronin. But it came back to me.
Speak for yourself, buddy.
The vote he denies that he didn't cast to screw Kemba out of his award in 2011, the complaining after the 2014 shot, he really is, funny, but a wonderful villain, and I'm happy to have him lose, and happy to have him lose to us, and the team just played great, and I feel wonderful about what the next 2 weeks look like for both the men and women. The women obviously have been, steamrolling. This is just beautiful now at this point. If Friday night against Michigan State doesn't go the way we want, I can at least tip my cap to that and say, you lost to a very good team and it was a fine season. I don't know that I would say that if they had lost tonight. I don't think they're going to lose. I think that this team, as they play tonight, is the type of team that can win it all. And especially if you add a functional solo ball to the team that was out there tonight. It feels good. The bad taste that was there with the loss to St. John's, the loss to Marquette, the totally ice cold, freakish shooting twice in 2 weeks for your worst shooting in 8 years, has been cleansed, and I'm just really excited for the rest of the ride. I did not expect to feel. I guess I haven't really thought about what it's going to be like to actually watch Alex Caravan's last game, which will be one of the next 4. And when you saw him hit some really clutch shots tonight, it was like, oh, this is it. He's got to hit these to keep it going. And he did, and I expect he will, because he is who he is. But that is going to be a ride every game from here on out, and I'm excited to see how they go. Because I think they can go all the way. Of the teams in their way now, you're going to have Michigan State. You're going to have either Duke or St. John's. Florida is now out of the picture, so I guess possibly Houston, and then whoever comes out of the other side of the bracket. But they can hang with anybody, and they can win it. They can win the whole fucking thing, and I hope they do.
Yeah, this just feels like we're 5:00 next Sunday, UConn St. John's 4. It feels like it's going to happen, and that's going to be an interesting experience.
It is, and I guess that'll be. I'll sign off here to let other people get in, but it is infuriating that UConn and St. John's are in the same bracket, because as much as I like to give St. John's a hard time, as much as I think St. John's is a deeply flawed team from the way it was constructed, they are good. They are good as hell. Easily, the Big East could have 2 Final Four teams, and it is only a function of the committee being lazy and shitty that UConn and St. John's are in the same region. They should not be. And if UConn is going to play St. John's a 4th time, it should be happening in Indianapolis, not in Washington, D.C.
I would agree with that. And I actually, even though I want UConn fans that are not St. John's fans, they make the second weekend for the first time in 25 years, and it costs a kidney literally to get in the building. That fucking sucks for those folks.
That is crazy. It's going to get worse.
It's not getting better.
It is not. Do not expect that to get any better, folks. That is going to get worse.
Now, if it is UConn St. John's, that will be a much better price than Friday will be.
Much more palatable, yes. Yeah. If it's Duke and Michigan State, those 2 fan bases may never buy anything ever again.
Yeah.
If it's us and Duke, probably the same. So
We'll see. Thank you.
tell your kids they can apply for student loans for college. Just
Money
like the
isn't
rest
real.
of us.
Money isn't real. Just remind yourself that. Money isn't real. Thank you, Noah Scuders. Hot Balls, you want to let Andy just tell me to eat shit?
Annie's been waiting patiently. So
Hi.
come get your pound of flesh, Annie.
So I tweeted earlier that somebody in Spaces should tell Hurley Mania that he's a fucking idiot. And he said, "You are a coward. You won't do it. You won't do it by yourself." So I'd like to say, Hurley Mania, you're a fucking idiot. You're always wrong. You're always going to be wrong. And what a great night for the ones of us that were right. That were always correct. Alex, their captain, he's always going to do this. So yeah, I feel good. I'm tired, but you forced me to stay up and say it to your face, so I hope that, I don't know what I hope, but I just had to do this.
Thank you, Andy.
But yeah, I was very happy about the second half of the second half, otherwise known as the fourth quarter in women's basketball.
In a real sport.
In a real sport.
It has correct timing rules.
I thought they had him at the half, and then they came out, and I was like, whoopsie. But yeah, I hope that he keeps playing Jaden Ross, because he was spectacular tonight. He was, sometimes in these types of runs, you need people to step up who really he just hasn't had the chance to do this at all. And really, the first time that he's needed to, he was poised, patient. I love that he used all 5 fouls. You should always use all your fouls. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Annie.
Annie,
I'll just use all 5 fouls. Annie used all 5 of her fouls.
That's right.
Tonight. Can't take them with you.
6 o'clock
there
tomorrow,
are no refunds.
Annie.
There's no refunds.
6 o'clock tomorrow, Annie, against an old enemy as well. The women in Syracuse at Temple.
Listen, nobody is working harder. Nobody is sleeping less. Maybe you are, but because you have a toddler. But I'm just gonna give myself credit.
That's fair.
Hot Balls is sick, clearly.
What's up?
So no one is working harder than we are.
Nobody.
This is a big win.
Good night, guys.
Good night. This is a big
By the way, if you were the Syracuse coach, by the way, I would be committing seppuku at this point. How many times do they have to fucking play us at Gamble in the NCAA tournaments? It's every year. How is that even possible?
Well,
it is funny.
Don't suck. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh my God. What are you going to do?
What can you do? Yeah. And of course I also get Thursday at 1:30 p.m. I get to ride a little extra lightning personally. A little extra war with Sparta. As the men's hockey team gets to slaughter me one last time, they get to just back the bus right over me once again. 1:30 in Worcester on a Thursday. Why don't more people go to the hockey tournament? Good slot. Anyway.
Glad you got that off your chest. Penfield, you're up next. We're going to go to Megan Bard after that. I don't know if Jared is still in here. He was in here.
His stocking cap. God bless him.
Probably got bored. It's probably going to go spice up a Lucy diaper for you. Penfield, what do you got?
Well, first things first, we have to say that Hurley is a fucking idiot. The bench really stepped up tonight, and especially the last 5 minutes of the first half when Solo, Terrace, and Caravan each had 2 fouls, and they actually took the lead during that stretch. Just incredible performances. Jaden Ross was electric. Malachi held down the fort. And Ryba played pretty well during that stretch. So, shout out those guys. Shout out Silas for gutting this thing out. I was dreading this game all day, not knowing if he would play or not. And I can't believe he did it. But so that was awesome. And then what else can you say about Alex Caravan? I feel like the knock against him has kind of been that he rode the coattails of some great players these 4 years, and a lot of these accomplishments like most wins and all that stuff. He kind of he was there and he was always great, but like he didn't lead a team. And these last 2 games, he really led this team to the Sweet 16. And I can't be more happy for that guy. He put up 2 awesome performances this weekend, and he's earned like all the accolades he's ever had here. Like, just incredible performances. I'm gonna miss that guy when he's gone. He really stepped up. So, props to him. Props to the bench. Just a great night.
Thank you, Penfield.
Now, Harley Mania, are you actually going to come up to Worcester for the hockey game?
I wasn't gonna.
It's in my backyard.
I wasn't gonna, but we'll see.
At the DCU Center, the world famous.
Yeah, I've seen monster trucks there.
Yes,
it's an amazingly horrible place to see any of
I saw the loudest crowd pop in human history in that building.
Yes, you did.
I was there for the Mankind Rock title change. That's the one. That's the big GIF. Everybody sees all the time that they use that. Monday Night Raw was at 98, 99. Wild crowd pop. It's a loud building when it wants to be.
It is. I thought about that. We thought about that building at halftime because I was bringing up the 05 tournament. Glad that didn't happen again. That 7-10 game as the 2 seed has been a tricky one in the past, but UConn did an amazing job tonight navigating it to set up just the death regional on Friday night. 9:45 for us Friday night. Yeah, Penfield. We'll see.
Are we serious at 9:45 for the last game again?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. That got announced during the second half.
Well, by the way, folks, rest in peace your wallets. Get in for the all session tickets right now for DC, up to $763.
See, buying the all session for a regional is really stupid for a lot of reasons. Practically, unless it's UConn Duke, it's
all sessions is just the both games.
Yeah, it's just no. I'm assuming he meant also Sunday.
Well, yeah, but like it's just it's not like the opening rounds where you're paying to see other teams that you don't root for.
Right. Well, if you buy for Friday, you get both games, and you lose a lung, which is kind of it could be a problem. Yeah, I just have the StubHub page up and I'm just refreshing it.
I think
very funny.
The move for Husky fans is to maybe root for St. John's if you want to go on Sunday.
It absolutely is. There's no situation. And I hate to say this, folks. It's going to be a Duke building. It just make peace with it. Yeah. It is. It just is. And that's going to be a wild experience for St. John's, who has a really good historical record against Duke, by the way. They've been a thorn in the side for some of their best teams throughout the years, even with some of the St. John's bad teams. It's kind of a funny historical thing where they always got they would always get a series with them because Krzyzewski wanted games at MSG, and they would pop them with terrible teams. It was always one of my favorite bits. And now they get them with a really good team. So this will be interesting to see. If you want to get in Sunday for less than the price of a small mid-size, you're going to need St. John's to win that game and set up the all-time shit posting final for Big East Twitter.
So my one last question about Alex, who was the last player to get 15 NCAA tournament wins in their career?
I would assume Bobby or Christian Laettner, because it might. Grant Hill might be there. It's got to be anybody on those Duke teams from 89 to 94, because they made people forget they made the Final Four in 89.
They went 3 times.
Yeah, they went to they went to the Final Four in 89, lost. 90 they got blown out by UNLV. 91 was their national championship. So 90 was the national championship game they lost to UNLV. 91 they won their first national title. 92 they went back to back. 93 they lost to Cal and Jason Kidd.
It's 17 for Bobby. Bobby has.
And then 94 they made the national title game against Arkansas.
Okay.
Is it 94?
No escalator. Yeah, it was 94. No escalators. I'm going to trust him on this for some reason. He looked it up. Christian Leitner, because he's typing the text. Is this wins or games?
Yeah, because Leitner's freshman year was 89. So he was on the bench for the Seattle Final Four team. That was the Seton Hall, Michigan national title game.
He says Leitner has the record with 23.
Yeah, that's probably right.
If he's I guess.
Yeah, because that's three national title games in a row and a Final Four.
So
23 wins.
None
for
of the
Christian Leitner.
UCLA guys did that because they only played 3
Correct.
games.
Yeah, it's 23 wins for Christian Leitner.
Oh, and they didn't play 6 games.
Yes. The fact that this is a discussion we can have is amazing. It's nuts. Yeah, so Christian Leitner won 23 NCAA tournament games. So
yeah, very tough to beat that. They lost. I forgot they lost to Seton Hall that year. Bad. 95-78. Their doors blown off. Wild.
Well, regardless, Alex is in some rarefied air, and if they get 2 wins next weekend, incredible. But so let's hope. Go Huskies.
Thank you, Penfield. We have an incredible post-game Mick Cronin quote. Have you seen it, Hot Balls?
No.
On what needs to change for UCLA to get out of the first weekend going forward? I'd like about 5 more million.
It's about right. I'll get you another really good.
I don't think he's wrong. I don't think he's wrong. Listen, I know he's a douchebag and all that, and I look like he's a good coach, but look at the shit they have to do in conference. They're fucking human beings. That thing is hopeless.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like what Noah Esclair said with him at Cincinnati. I know nobody likes him or the way, but there's not more you can get out of this than what he did at Cincinnati and what he's doing now in this absurd conference they're in. I just don't think this can be done better. It can be done less douchey, but I don't think it can be done better.
UCLA is a weird place to recruit to now anyway. All the West Coast programs are weird now. It just is what it is.
It is. By the way, sorry, because I know we're going to bring Connor and Megan. I'm sorry, guys. Dave Borges, Dan Hurley on Stewart, quote, Jalen had no chance. Jalen was in an emergency role. He has taken no live reps. We wanted him to go through the pregame warm-up as part of his process of being ready for next week.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think that sounds like someone who's going to play next week, personally.
Yeah.
But, so that's the update on that. I'm trying to see if we have anything. Not yet. I don't have any more quotes yet because we've been in here. So we can, continue.
Megan, how are you tonight?
Feeling pretty good. It's nice to see my guy Jaden Ross being really heroic through these last couple of games. I feel like we got to be talking about him starting at this point.
Yeah.
Like we got to be there now. The defense is so much better when he's out on the court. Like he's the guy we need to put on their guy, and he's been doing that incredibly well. And now if he's hitting shots like this, passing, he had a straight up like Andre Jackson look at the end of the game, that little bounce pass to Terrace. I'm like, what are we doing here, man? Like he's doing a little too much for us to be starting with him on the bench.
Yeah. Normally, I would say that's fucking crazy to even talk about changing the starting lineup in the Sweet 16.
100%.
And I've been kind of against it all year.
Yep.
It is. It's.
We got to do it now.
I agree. I think they're going to have to. I don't think, or at the very least, he's just got to have profoundly more minutes than what he's getting.
He has to be playing like 30 minutes a game at this point.
I know.
Like, I don't. He has to.
Yeah. He was at 22 today. What was he the other night? It was probably right around that. I want to see him at least in the 25 to 30 minute range, if not more. When
nobody but Alex Caravan, who was a goddamn legend at this point, the only one who could get a bucket for a while, like Ross all of a sudden is like ripping off threes, like getting a hawk foul, just like you got to play him.
Yeah. In the first half, when there was this brief period where Braylon was when Braylon wasn't even taking threes, and when Alex even passed up a couple once, Jaden Ross was not passing up anything. He, like, the confidence he's got, we joke about it, but he was he didn't give a shit about what anybody expected. He was ready to go and confident. And tonight that shit all cashed for him. It was great to see. Yeah, he played 21 minutes against Furman. He played 22 tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he needs to be getting
He's
more
been-
playing time. There's just no, it's the defensive stuff. I mean, he had so many plays tonight. The steal he had in transition was like pitch perfect.
He's so great at getting out in transition.
Oh.
Like he's so fucking fast, first of
Yes.
all. And
Which
so
you have to be against that team.
Either he's pulling a defender away or at least keeping a defender honest with whoever's got the ball, or he leaks out and gets a ferocious dunk. It works out great either way. Or they have to pull out, and he stopped making, the mistakes that he was making 2 months ago even. Like, I don't know what happened, man. He just like locked in. He figured it out.
I talk about it all the time on the show. Like, you need to play players that play with like intentionality, and like you kind of watch Solo and Braylon tonight in the first half just weren't really confident. And you could just see it, and he doesn't give a fuck, man. If he gets that open shot, I'm going to take this. You can see it in his face. I'm going to make this shit. I'm going to get the steal. I'm going to get this rebound. Like, he's just playing so direct right now. And just, I'm beating the dead horse here, but defensively, the team is a totally different animal with him in there. And the rebounding, I think, is where I see the biggest difference. And if I had a real significant flaw in this roster, we just don't have enough physical guys, or at least enough guys that are like willing to embrace that. And Ross loves it. He's the one guy that's like totally ready to muck it up. And, they need to have him out there more. I think they might have to pull the trigger.
I feel like we have to. I mean, maybe it's crazy, but I feel like it has to be done at this point.
Yeah.
Like, he's too valuable to, and, in fairness today, there was some foul trouble because the dastardly refs are out to get us and we're just throwing some horseshit at us.
I just say Brian O'Connell tonight Brian O'Connell sucks. God. Brian was on, and I'm not even going to get into some of the shit he was calling him UCLA. He was a disaster tonight. And just from where we're standing on the floor, but he had maybe 4 late whistles tonight. Like late whistles.
Crazy
he's not
late.
Seeing things. He's not getting up and down the court fast enough. He's not in position to make calls that he's making. There's no consistency. They were calling every little ticky-tack thing they could if it was a guard with the ball in their hands. And then anytime Terrace or, what's his face?
He got pulled to the ground at one point.
He pulled his arm, and they were like, "Wow, he's wide open underneath." Like, yeah, he pulled Terrace by the arm.
Smoked down there too, though. I mean, they were killing each other, and they weren't calling a thing down low.
It was wild.
So, I mean, it was just, the whole crew was bad tonight. O'Connell's just him,
so bad.
Potter and Breeding are the 3 horsemen of the apocalypse. But the thing is that I'll say, about O'Connell is I think Breeding and Potter are way more in that vein of a Joe West, Angel Hernandez. I'm a bad ref. I kind of know it, but I'm going to egg you on if you get in my shit. I will totally make this all about my ass if you want to. If they're confrontational, particularly Potter this year has been ridiculous. In just terms of seeking shit out. O'Connell's just incompetent. He's just a bad referee. Just bad. And he's getting older and in full, he was always a bad referee, but he is in full blown decline right now. You cannot call a game like that in the NCAA tournament. They made some, I thought I don't know what happened beforehand, if they had warned Mick or whatever. That technical foul was soft as fuck. That wasn't Brian.
That was so soft.
But yeah, we actually got a pool report on it that Borges just tweeted the photo of. They basically said it was for the clapping, which
that's
is
fucking
ridiculous,
dude.
Are you kidding me?
So lame. That's
in the
so
list
lame.
of things that those 2 coaches could do to get a technical, that one cashes at plus 10,000. Really?
That's ridiculous.
So lame.
Clapping?
Yeah, that's dumb. That's
ridiculous.
That's
it would be
dumb.
fascinating, Megan, if we do get UConn St. John's 4, if it's totally new refs. It's we have a control sample.
No, they'll give us all 3. I
they
will
can't wait.
bet everything I have. They'll give us all 3.
Yeah.
I don't know what it says about me or St. John's, but I would rather see Duke. Like, let John Shire try and prep for this team on 2 days, and let the chips fall where they may.
Mhm.
I would rather see that.
Yeah, I would rather not see the team that just beat the living shit out of us 2 weeks ago.
I mean,
Thanks.
it's the thing. Like, I also watched us beat the living shit out of them, but like,
Yeah.
I don't want to have to play them again. I don't. I really don't.
I don't even know
have
how
to
to
play
describe
any
it.
team
They
4
have-
times in a year.
I
Like,
don't.
Yeah.
I can't. And like, it's
They
weird
have
enough
the
that we have to
juice
play
at
Michigan
present.
State, who we sort of played already, and like could potentially play. It was either like Kansas or St. John's we've already played. Like, it's just, this whole bracket was fucking weird.
Yeah,
I did pull up the box score from that exhibition game, which had so many free throws. So many.
Yeah, there was 9,000
many.
fouls. Silas
many.
barely played at all because he was in foul trouble the whole time. And I feel like maybe
They changed
Bray
the foul
and or
rules.
Terrace weren't in that game either.
They changed the foul rules in that game to let the guys play
Yeah.
free fouls.
It
Yeah.
was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Now, yeah, obviously it's an exhibition. Don't take too much from it, but we have nothing else to do for a week. Yeah, no Terrace in that game. UConn's third leading scorer in that game, including 2 for 3 from 3, was Mr. Jaden Ross.
There you
Just
go.
saying.
We've known all along.
He foretold as it was. Yeah, in that game, Alex had 18, Solo had 18, and Solo was 1 for 7 from 3. So there was a lot of things that were foretold in the exhibition.
Jesus.
Dwayne Karoma had 4. Malachi, this is great. I know, great audio. Malachi had an okay game in that one. It was so many free throws.
Mally,
Oh my
I
God.
gotta give Malachi credit. He's really, these last 2 games, he's really stepped up. And like, honestly, shout to Silas. Dude gave it everything he had tonight. Like, that was huge. Dog performance.
Yeah. And they're gonna need it on Friday for Jeremy Fears, who is a complete freak show.
Yeah.
To watch. He's gonna throw something down Friday night that's gonna break your brain. Just limit it to 1, please.
Yeah.
And provided that he doesn't kick a UConn player directly in the balls, which
He's been known to do.
50-50.
He's been known to do that.
Weird to be in a regional with Duke and they don't have the dirty player, but here we are.
Yeah. I mean, it's, next weekend, I do think we can beat Michigan State. I mean, obviously, like, we kind of already did, sort of. But I think the way they played, it's, Braylon breaking out of his slump, that felt big when that midi jumper went in, and then he made his 3 right after that, and then got fouled and made the 3 free throws. It was like, okay, I feel like he's found his footing again. But, and honestly, like, the Mally Silas lineup worked pretty nicely. Like, I feel like we found some workarounds for the things that were not working. We just gotta stop doing the things that are clearly not working right now.
Yeah, and a lot of it involves Solo, unfortunately.
It can trigger the offense, at least. I'm trying to find something. I really am. That's the thing. Like, if he's not going to knock down open threes, there's not. I don't. The way he defends, and I thought he kind of got his defense up to sort of middle of the road, earlier in the year, and he's kind of regressed back to it. Like, he's just not playing with any confidence right now.
No.
Which is bad. I mean, that sequence tonight was, oof. It almost completely turned the game around.
It did.
So,
I went to a really dark place at the end of that sequence.
And the thing with him is he just forces things, like he's always been, even when he's going well, like he's got one gear and he's going forward. We joke about the not passing in transition thing, but like, he's never had a shot he doesn't want to take. And it's one thing to be a volume shooter, but if there's like nothing's going down and you're not really contributing a lot defensively, like there's just no.
Well, especially when you've got Ross now is contributing offensively and his passing game has improved dramatically, even in just like the last 2 months. He's doing a whole bunch of things he was not doing before and contributing to the offense in ways he wasn't before, like much more involved in actually running the offense. And I feel like that makes him so much more valuable, when it helps get guys, especially now that they had to guard him. Like, they had to guard him because they're like, this guy's making threes. They have to guard him.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
those last 4 games, 2 of 18 from 3.
A lot of people forget this, and I keep bringing it up, but like Jaden was a 3-and-D guy out of high school. That's his MO. And now that I think he's kind of caught up to the speed of the college game, because he's definitely the guy like of that junior class coming in. Like I always tell people, like the biggest adjustment for freshmen coming from high school to college is just the speed of the game in every single sport, in basketball, even baseball, football, you name it. It's just a completely different, level of speed, and you have to process so much more. And he was just the freshman guy that couldn't do it. I mean, he was easy to speed up. He was easy to get himself sped up. And now I think he started to finally figure it out, and adapt to the speed of the college level, let the game come to him a whole heck of a lot more. Like he's been awesome the second half of the season. I think he's earned that starting role at this point. Like we talk, and we're not even there. We got to get through next weekend, but of the guys that we got to have back next year, man. He's like 1 or 2.
Yep.
For us next year on the roster. He's amazing.
I've been so impressed with the way he's just transformed his game this year. It's really impressive.
Yeah.
Amazing friggin' quote from Dan about the regional. I'll get to that in a second, but yeah, to turn this around and to just stick with it for Jaden and believe the time will come and that the opportunity arose, and for him to step through the door, like come running through it like this, is exactly what this team needs, especially in a time with so much uncertainty. Borges tweeted that Silas said he knew after Friday's game he'd play tonight. Quote, "I was going to put my body on the line for this team and this program to get to the Sweet 16, end quote. So he says he knew he was going to play tonight. And so I'm just glad he gets 5 days off.
Yes. Rest up.
The Dan quote. Quote, "It's been brutal on social media between our fan bases," meaning UConn and St. John's. "Maybe they need to come together." I mean, I don't know how many of them are going to be in the building on Friday, but we'll see. So, yeah, it's I have Dan quotes on Jaden. Jaden's been on a great trajectory, around 25 minutes a game, quite a bit. He would have been 25 to 27, maybe higher if he didn't get into foul trouble. The 3 was huge, and the free throws, this team needs his athleticism on the court, his size. He's really coming into his own right now. So,
yeah. Go Jay Ross.
Yeah. Oh, wow. And Dan saying that Alex had some disappointing games down the stretch of the season, but if I say it,
you're a fucking moron.
Yeah.
You're a fucking moron.
Yeah. Anyway.
That's why.
Obviously.
All right. Thank you, Meg. I'm going to keep the line moving because I'm sick and run out of gas already.
Yeah.
All right, later.
It's late. I hate not going 2 hours on a win like that, but I'm not going to make it. I'm
Get ready for me to yell at you tomorrow about women's basketball. Just FYI.
No, you should. You should.
We will.
What is Nerd for tomorrow?
It's probably something absurd. I couldn't even begin to tell you at this point.
I'm going to use my favorite link because this actually works. genpom.com, which redirects.
No, stop it.
Which redirects to the Torvik women's side. I'm not even kidding. 29.9. So
that sounds right.
And Sailor Poffenbarger, rest in piss. Also that. So there we go.
Yep, she's out, and Caden Samuel's also out today for NC State. So
we like Q though.
We do like Q. And yeah, so RIP to our cast off Maryland team.
Thank you, Megan. Very excited for the women's game tomorrow at 6:00, which is a terrible time slot, but whatever.
Yes, but then you can watch Sarah Strong and AZ Feta and Blanca Quinones murder some people on live
she's got to play 2 more years in college. Jesus Christ.
It's going to be great.
Yep.
Enjoy it.
Got a lot to learn. Thank you, Megan.
Bye.
All right, we're going to go to Connor next, then Tim, and then we got a college basketball rebound after that. So everybody just be patient. We're going to get through everybody here. Connor, man, what do you got for us?
It's nice to be speaking again with the J. Ross fan club that is the space. I really think we need to all get matching tattoos or something at some point if this thing keeps going. But
I will get a tattoo of Hurley Mania as a fucking idiot.
I mean, that one without saying, but okay.
I mean, if Alex goes 3 for 4 on natties, I feel like that has to happen. But I would love to see him start just because I think the team's obviously always an emotional roller coaster. Even today at one point in the second half, I think when UCLA called one of those timeouts right after an Alex 3, I'm like, wow, I feel this is the best I felt watching the team in a long time. And then the solo thing happened after that with the missed shots and the and one, and it got close again. And I'm like, okay, back to the suffering phase of the game. But we've had some slow starts, and I think that having Ross out there just to kind of help the team collectively punch the other team in the mouth first, I'd love to see that, because I feel like UCLA started off a little hotter today, and I'm just like, oh my god, we need to get to the under 16, and so that Dan can bring Ross in.
Nothing fills up my cup quite like people's overreactions in the first TV timeout to us being down like 6-2. You know,
It's par for the course at this point.
We have that slow start, and everybody just starts rage tweeting right off the bat. We don't even let it breathe a little bit. We don't even get settled down. We got it just locked and loaded. We got the negativity ready to go. Everything's terrible. Everything's horrible. We're all going to die. All the time. So I would like to avoid that if we can. I would certainly like to avoid that. So maybe Jaden Ross takes our phones out of our hands for us and says, settle down, you ding-dongs. It'll be okay. Take a deep breath.
I mean, a man can dream. I think that this team, just the way they've played all year, is going to be up and down and driving us crazy and tweeting some crazy stuff no matter what. But I do think that I'd like to feel good going into the under 16 for a change.
Yeah. That's a reasonable request.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to do it, but I'm getting a little closer to thinking he might do it. It's also, I think it's better for Solo to be a bench guy. Like, it's to come in as a, and I don't think I don't think benching him's going to break him, right? Like, I mean, he's pretty broken right now, to be honest. I think just do the decision, sits with it for a day, and then we're going to move on and we're going to win games, and this will be fine. And because Solo can be an electric bench scorer. And I just, in this, especially if it's like St. John's, with where the starts of the games have dictated those games for the last two so drastically.
If we somehow play them for a fourth time,
I
don't think I'll survive that game. My heart will just be having explosions the whole time. But you need to have Ross out there just with their size and everything.
Yeah, you can't be taking 12-0 out of the rip in a regional final. When we've done the metrics hot balls on the show for 3 months, like it's not just in the numbers. If you look at the games, the team just functions better defensively.
Yeah.
And they've got so many offensive weapons. Just hold the defense, and eventually the wave will crash. Eventually, offensively for somebody. The other night it didn't, because Solo and Braylon couldn't hit water if they fell out of a boat, and UConn still won the game pretty comfortably in the end. So if they just get one of them on that night, I just need defense, because eventually between Alex and whichever one of them is shooting, and I think you get chipped in maybe from Jaden or Malachi and Silas, who have all been like really good 3-point shooters this year in low volume. That's enough. I can't watch the Solo defensive thing when he's not hitting a three. It's a start a game. I just can't. And I also think, like, if you just bring him in the middle of a game when the game's already developed the way it is and he's had nothing to do with it, I think it allows him to kind of like sneak in there, because this is all, he's pressing. The season hasn't gone exactly the way we hoped. Great NIL, love the TurboTax ad and all that. But it's a little bit of the Alex thing last year, where we thought the leap is maybe a primary scorer, and that hasn't happened. But there's other ways for him to be a really key piece on a championship level team here. And I just would like us to stop forcing it to be something it isn't, because we have other really good options now. We have a direct replacement that works really well. We know this works well. We've seen it enough now. Let's just try it. I don't think you will.
Yeah, I was wondering exactly where you guys were with Solo, because I know he's got the NIL deals and everything, but it's so disheartening to see how he's playing right now, especially when Mullins has been out there. He's been frustrating at times, a little foul happy, especially when he's not shooting well. But I think even his mid range is looking a lot better than Solo's. And I've been surprised with some of Braylon just being able to go there and get some impressive rebounds every once in a while, even when he hasn't been shooting. I've just kind of really been impressed by that. But with Solo, I don't know what the answer is at this point.
Yeah, I think you just reduce him to a bench role until he sees a couple of these things knocked down. It's, if he's not going to hit the threes, I mean, we haven't got a lot here on offer, unfortunately, with Solo. And there's fears. It's weird because there are 3 teams left in this regional who don't have really traditionally strong guard play, but one of them has manhandled him twice. And one of them has a guard who might try and get a flagrant foul at any point. So that it's not as obvious of a red flag matchup for him defensively, but it's still going to be a problem. So I still think he's really important. I don't think this team can go to a Final Four with Solo just being like this. I think eventually there's too many good teams left in this region with too many great coaches that they're going to need something out of him one of these games. So I'm not like banish him to the bench and never see him again. No, he still needs to play like 15, 20, 25 minutes a game. But I think the hot start's going to be really important for these next 2 games. Like really, really important. This is a team that can come from behind, but I would like to not have to when we have a better option. That's a long-winded answer, Steve. I'm sorry, but that's where I am.
Well, I'll be boots on ground this weekend. I live in DC, so for me it makes a bit more sense not to have to worry about travel and accommodations and everything. But first time seeing them in the tournament, so hope to see some of you sickos down there.
Please tell me you
I know
already
it kind of
got your tickets.
Well, I got them before once the Selection Sunday happened, and I'm like, well, I can always resell. So, hoping to see you guys there. I'm kind of selfishly glad it's the second game, since hopefully then I can watch the first game in the building with a little bit more calmness and a little less emotion. Spend some time in a building with a bunch of Duke and St. John's fans will be interesting. But anyway, it should be a lot of psychos in the building in general.
The full Dan quote about next week from Joe Arruda is great. On the 2 seeds advancing, quote, "It's pretty brutal on Twitter, I think, and socials between our fan bases. But I think we have to try to come together Friday night against our opponents so we can have a bloodbath on Sunday."
I mean, yeah, that would be that would be insane. Just to see them for a 4th time is equally terrifying. But I mean, if we win that game, that's bragging rights for a long time.
You got to beat Duke. You got to beat St. John's. You got to beat somebody good to get there. So I actually kind of like Duke a little better. That sounds crazy.
Yeah. No, I'm with you, actually.
They rattle. Like Duke can get rattled. So can we, by the way. But particularly if we're hitting our threes, I think we may be okay against Duke. Yeah, that's exclusively a matchup thing, because I think if Duke gets by us, very hard time not seeing them playing on a Monday night in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Very hard time, especially after today's news. So, and then we'll see who they play after that. I don't know. Arizona today.
They wobbled more than anything else. I mean, it was.
Let's see.
I was really impressed with Utah State for even doing that. But, Arizona did hit a bunch of threes today, by the way.
Uh-oh.
A handful.
Just a couple.
Because they can do it. Because I still believe, like an idiot, that they're going to be there.
It's going to be how they do it. How do they manage to finally do it?
I'll tell you, Darius A. Cuff's no fun. That should be a whale of a game. On Thursday. Yeah, Thursday night real quick, because we have the full schedule now. Texas, Purdue at 7:00, whatever. Iowa, Nebraska at 7:30. That will be very, very entertaining to see those 2 fan bases in a basketball setting. Arkansas, Arizona, 9:45 Thursday on CBS, and Illinois, Houston at 10:00 Thursday.
That's going to be a really good game.
Yeah. The Friday schedule, St. John's, Duke, CBS 7:10, Alabama, Michigan, TBS 7:30, UConn, Michigan State, CBS 9:45, and Tennessee, Iowa State at 10:10 on.
Could you imagine if we beat St. John's on Sunday and then have to play Illinois in the Final Four and then Arizona in the national title game?
Do we have any original teams in the back, please? Is there anybody else? Have we glitched the game? There have to be more teams. Please, are there more teams in the back? I would like to see somebody else.
It'll be Purdue.
At least if that happens, we won't have to face the accusations of having a cakewalk to the finals again, because that's a pretty impressive gauntlet there.
Yeah, no, this is brutal.
What would Arizona have looked like with Terrace? Maybe we find out. Maybe we find out. It's kind of nuts the amount of redundancy that is built into this thing, it seems like right now, but let's get the opportunity first. And it starts Friday night. Get to enjoy at least a few days of sleeping like normal human beings.
Only 4 more wins that we got to get.
That's
it. Just 4.
It's only 4 left. That's the way I'm approaching it, is that this thing is special, and this is the greatest run the school's ever had. And we've been following it with all of you. And, these are the good old days. Like, it's right now, we're in it right now. And so, like, tonight, cherish this right now, because there will be a point, unfortunately, where this sucks again for a little while, maybe. Like, let's enjoy it.
Speaking of greatest runs the school has ever had, I did feel compelled to call in briefly again to note that UConn hockey had a loss that led to one person speaking in this chat catastrophizing yesterday. And now we'll play Michigan State on Thursday in hockey and Friday in basketball. And I just want to know how you're going to hold up Hurley Mania as somebody who cannot hold it together for more than 20 seconds waiting for a good result.
I'm actually going to be fine for the hockey game Thursday, because Michigan State, thank you for teeing me up to do a 10-minute breakdown of a college hockey game. That's what you really intended. Michigan State came into the year.
It is better than college baseball.
Yes, thank you. Or unaffiliated college baseball.
Unaffiliated college baseball.
I mean, Jesus.
If we're going to break down something, let's break down college hockey.
All right, so Michigan State came into the year. They were the presumptive favorite to win the national title. They returned a guy who was a Richter Award finalist as goalie of the year. They had a loaded team. They spent a lot on NIL. And they're the number, they slightly underachieved, but they're the number 3 overall seed out of the 16. So they're still really, really good. And so this is Thursday. This is just cool because UConn gets to play a team they never played. They're going to be a huge underdog in that game, even though they theoretically might have the more fans there. It's 1:30 on a Thursday in Worcester, which is odd, but that's the way this tournament stupidly works. So I'm going in there with fresh, like they pulled off an inside straight to even get Thursday. And they pissed away a flush last night. So I'm just thrilled they get the one more game. And I'm looking at this.
Would you still like to fire the coach?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to confirm you're totally unhinged.
I have to be consistent. No, as I said today, he's at worst a fine coach. He's not a mess, but that's pretty unforgivable last night. But they played well. Shit happens. It's a deranged sport. It's completely unhealthy as a sport.
Just to be clear here, what was UConn hockey a decade ago?
Terrible. A decade ago, they were actually really good. The second year in Hockey East.
I just want to lay the foundation that you are a lunatic.
You thought you had to lay the foundation?
I think it is important for the people to know that the hockey team is one of the best in the country, is going to play for a national championship, just like our basketball team will. And you, as somebody mostly angry about your inability to park at hockey games, wants to fire the coach because they lost in a hockey game, which is the most coin flip ass sport there could possibly be.
Well, I have a parking pass. Have you not been listening? I've had a parking pass all year. Complaining gets you things. I don't think it's getting me a new coach.
That seems like an administrative oversight.
It does. It really does. I don't know how this happened, but it's nice. No, they get a great chance on Thursday against a really loaded team. It should be a lot of fun just to see them get to face somebody else because the coach never schedules a different team out of conference for the last 3 years. So I'm glad to see them schedule against a good team, and we'll see what happens. It's a coin flip.
If you had to pick a win over one Michigan State team, would it be the hockey team or the basketball team?
The basketball team, because this basketball team can win the national championship. I like the hockey team. I don't know that they can win the whole thing. It's so
I'm
Western
happy
based.
we have that recorded because surely that won't come back to bite you in the ass.
Yeah, no, as you know, the sport is so heavily Western tilted. This is the first time in 45 years there are no Boston teams in the tournament, which is very funny. UConn, Merrimack, and Providence, and Bentley, the only Northeast teams in this whole thing out of 16. So, and Bentley's like the SWAC winner, basically. So.
It's a beautiful sport that I know very little about, but I did enjoy the Netflix documentary on the 1980 U.S. hockey team where the cultural differences were some of us went to college in Minnesota and some of us went to college in Massachusetts.
What you will specifically like about that is because of that sort of shit, it's why the men's college and the women's do too. The men's college hockey tournament is literally a mathematical formula because for years they could not get like the Western, air quotes Western, the Midwest ADs and like the Boston ADs to agree on anything. So they literally had to put a straight math formula together. And they just have a committee to put teams in the buildings. Like they won't let them do an eye test because these fuckers cannot get along. It's like North and South Korea at the negotiating table and 12 people care, but the 12 of them can't stand one another. And it's why Ken Pomeroy wants the NCAA men's basketball tournament to be that way in terms of using a math formula. They tweaked the math formula this year, no escalators, which is the reason UConn's in. Literally the old formula, UConn would have been out. So I think they did a great job with the new formula. I encourage them to continue doing this.
Okay. I'm gonna leave that to you and your particular brand of insanity, but go Ice Bus and go Wood Bus Huskies.
The shooty hoops, yeah. Yeah, no, it's math. Math.
Little shitty hoops. All right. Tim Conrad, you're up next, man. What do you got for us?
Man, it's tough to follow that with the parking pass talk and the ice bus. But now, honestly, like my thoughts were kind of along the lines of what Hurley Mania was saying around the good old days. Like, there's like kind of this privileged life that we're living right now where like, there's like injuries and consternation all week, but we still got 2 double-digit wins in the tournament. They're 2 of the weirdest wins that you'll like ever watch, but like, we're still kind of in that place. And, we get the best thing in sports, right? Like another week to talk about our team and think about this and to have these conversations. So I'm just pretty elated, watching the game tonight. That's definitely my main feeling. And then the other thing I'll say too is hot balls. I know you've been talking about this concept of having an MFer, on this team down the stretch. I think, probably Friday night we could say that was Terrace Reed, but tonight it felt like it was just the whole team. Like it was just like seeing guys fill in places where they never would be playing. And I don't know, that was just really enjoyable basketball for me.
Yeah, I thought they were great tonight. It's the level of compete that they got to have every night.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was, even when they were like struggling early in the game, it wasn't, I thought they were there. It was just, we're doing this shit again where the shots aren't going in. And they eventually did. And their compete level didn't wane. The turnovers were a little concerning. Braylon especially looked like a mess, but like he got it fixed. So we're at the point now where the 2 things we got to fix is pray for Silas's health. Right. And get Solo to be a 30% 3-point shooter. And at that point, let the chips fall where they may. We've got the squad and they got to play really good teams. This thing's really hard to win. You've got to play really good teams the rest of the way, but they've got a shot to do this as much as basically anybody else. I love Ben McCollum more than anybody that isn't Curry Hicks Sage. And the fact that he did that shit tonight blew my mind that they took Florida out with the way Florida has looked. It'll hit you from someplace you never expect in this tournament. Nobody is invincible. None of these teams are perfect. So I know what the efficiency numbers are. I this time of year, I really don't care. It doesn't matter. If you're just if they're plugged in, they've got as good of a shot as anybody. You don't want to go out because you didn't You weren't locked in. And so far they've been locked in both these games. They've been annoying, but it hasn't been a lack of effort. And it never has really been a lack of effort with this team. It wasn't like Kentucky today, hot balls. If you want to have some fun, the post-game quotes on that one were really nice.
Really McQuitterson today.
Boy, did they fucking roll over and die.
Yeah. I mean, can't say I'm surprised. That's what they've been.
Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah. That's never been an issue here. I'll take this. Go throw $22 million in a toilet, you in North Carolina. Have fun with that shit. I like this.
That's the thing that I like most about this team too. Like there were stretches in this game where like I'd be looking at the scoreboard and we're up 4 or 5 points and it's the same 4 or 5 points we were up 3 or 4 minutes ago. And you can't believe based on the play on the court that you're still up that much, given, the turnovers or whatever it was. But, they just found a way to dig down deep and play D when they were turning over the ball and then, had a couple of runs. Like, I don't know. It was just an enjoyable game by the end for sure. And, I can't wait for Friday night.
Yeah, they really locked in defensively too in the paint. I thought it wasn't just about Terrace. Like there were times in the paint. Alex was great at the rim defensively. Braylon defensively was actually really strong this weekend when everything else wasn't great. In addition to fouls, but he actually made some really good defensive plays. And Malachi Smith was just getting up in Sky Clark shit. It was a real pest. That was really cool to watch. And against that's a UCLA team that their backcourt doesn't turn the ball over. Like they're really strong and they had 11 turnovers tonight. They had 7 in the first half. That is not a common thing for them to, 11 turnovers tonight. Yep. 7 in the first half to have Sky Clark have 3 turnovers and no assists, to hold Donovan Dent to have him turn it over twice in addition to 9 assists, is pretty nuts.
No, for sure. It was impressive. I'm also of the school of what y'all were talking about before about getting Jaden Ross in the starting lineup, or at least, starting minutes off the bench, however you want to look at it. Have you guys ever seen the movie Drumline?
I have not.
Can't say I have. I know the movie you're talking about. I'm not a big.
Then the analogy won't work. I'll save that for a later date. But yeah, there's a point at the end of the film though, where Dr. Lee, who's coaching one of the drum lines, makes a big change at the end that really works out. And I think like this has got to be the moment if they're going to put him in the starting lineup. Like it's got to be now. Like he's clearly a game changer in the spark, and now you saw it tonight offensively too. It was incredible. I don't know. I'm definitely team Jaden right now.
Yeah, they've got to lock up Jeremy Fears, who in the first weekend had 27 assists. I will say that again. He had 27 assists. Now he had 9 turnovers. In his last 3 games, he has 40 assists. 40.
That's a lot of assists.
40 assists and 13 turnovers. So that's the whole game right there is Jeremy Fears. That's the whole thing. We joke about the kicking, which he does, and the dirty play. The whole show is trying to shut that kid down. So they're going to need guards that are fucking present defensively. So yes, I want more Jaden Ross minutes. In addition to Silas. Like, I just want the strongest defensive backcourt. This game Friday has like 58-55 written all over it. It's going to be ugly. We're going to be in hell. This is not a game that I think, flies up and down. It's 85-80. That neither of these teams want to push anything approaching pace. And it's going to be a really game for the 3-point thing again. This is Michigan State team that does not take a lot of threes. They allow teams to shoot as many threes against them as almost any team in the country. If Braylon and Solo have an on-shooting night, Michigan State can't win the game. They just can't. So it's pretty simple. And it's wild too that like for one of these two teams, their next game will be back against the other one, possibly. Like the fact that they have the home and home and it's an exhibition and they're in East Lansing next year is wild, given that now they're going to play in a Sweet 16. So pretty funny.
Last thing you see before you go to bed at night and the first thing you wake up to in the morning. UConn basketball. Oh boy. All right, Tim. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Going to move along to college basketball rebound. What do you got for us, brother?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, so I had a couple just quick points to hit on, and then I did want to kind of throw a wrench into everyone else's argument here. So, first of all, awesome to see Alex and Jaden just do what they did. You know, given some of the recent games Alex has had, to have him, you know, really have a true moment that if it ends on that, if things go wrong in the next round, you know, be able to hang the hat on and say, yeah, that was that was a swan song. Alex game is just wonderful. Hope it's not the case, but, you know, wonderful that happened. You know, Jaden was awesome tonight. Second point, super excited. I booked DC, accommodations several weeks back. And, when UConn was theoretically the one seed in that region and, ended up going a different route, but happy that they'll be there and, certainly be boots on ground, as you guys say, to cheer them on. Thankfully, my boss, who seemingly decided to go to the women's game, assuming they squeeze the orange tomorrow, will be down in Texas, and he can count where he is on the donor list on his fingers. So he should be able to get some nice tickets from me. So, I'll have some extras available if anyone needs tickets. But, happy to be there and seeing that they'll play, the Spartans down in DC. Last quick one, I did find it super funny going through the next Friday schedule in terms of over-unders in the games. UConn, Michigan State were the low end, 137.5. Tennessee, Iowa State comes in second, 138.5. St. John's, Duke, 142.5. And then Michigan, Alabama, 176.5. 34 points above the next closest one. Hard to imagine that's ever happened before in an over-under scenario. Just thought that was fun. And then lastly, I think everyone in this space is crazy if you think tampering with the starting lineup is the thing to do right now. This team is not winning a national championship unless Solo can snap this funk. Putting him on the bench with where I'm assuming his head is at right now, to me, would be a death blow to him. Jaden has done phenomenal, and he's done phenomenal off the bench. You can tweak minutes, but you cannot take one of our theoretical top players and just destroy his confidence when the only way this team wins the championship is if both him and Mullins are clicking from three. I could not disagree more from the fact, like, you can play with minutes, you can do this or that, but you cannot take a shooter's confidence and say you're benched at this point in the year. I want Solo back next year. You know, I understand the point of Ross and Ryba and Demery being your top three priorities. I would disagree. I would still have Ball there, but, I just don't see how at this stage of the game you change the starting lineup. Ross can get plenty of minutes, but I do believe those minutes should be coming off the bench. So yeah, a lot of points there, but that's what I got for you guys. Appreciate the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, I guess my thing is I really like if being benched, like in terms of the lineup when you're still going to play 20 minutes breaks you. I think you're selling Solo mentally a little short. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. I don't know.
You get these guys. The thing, yeah. I think I agree with him. When you got a guy that's down, like, I mean, you can adjust minutes to the point where, like, he's the guy. I mean, he could be I've said this a lot. Like, it's just a crazy pants thing to do to mess with the starting lineup in the Sweet 16. It just is.
He played 13 minutes tonight, so we've adjusted the minutes fully.
Okay, yeah, you know what I mean. So it's like. The thing is, if he's going to get the lion's share of those minutes, it just really doesn't matter. It's just the guy that's out there for the first 3 to 5 minutes of the game, and then whatever. And he's not going to do what he did. I mean, as bad as he's been in stretches this year, this was an outlier even by those standards. I don't feel like he's like an unplayable player, but I do feel like Jaden Ross has earned more minutes, and the minutes should be coming from Solo. Right now,
and also
the guys on the roster.
This is moot because everything we know about Dan, he's not going to do it, and so and we get it. I mean, look at the way he was gesturing at Braylon on the court, and Braylon was hitting the mid-range shot, and then the first three, like he was really hulking up. Dan is so, and I love this. He's so in the tank for these guys. Like, he knows how important the mental side is of it. And I think he is worried that he wouldn't want to do that to Solo. And so when Solo hits a 3 in DC, Dan might get teed up for running off the bench to like lift him up or something. so that'll be fun to watch next week.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I'd have a hard time seeing them making wholesale changes at this point. And you do got to kind of, be careful with it. I mean, look, I don't think there's a scenario right now where Solo's draft stock is very high. Yeah. Excuse me. I think he's going to be a guy that's likely going to be back with the team next year. This guy loves it here. So like this isn't just a decision to win a national title that you're making in a vacuum. This is it has the potential to be more of a long range decision where you mess with a guy's confidence that much. It can spiral with guys, especially guys that are like not used to struggling, man. It's a lot more volatile than I think people realize with those guys, because, especially with modern athletes and how much everything they do is revolving around the sport that they play, like their sense of identity, their social worth, like more than it ever was before. I always think it's been that way to a degree, but now the amount of time, the investment, the pressures coming from everywhere, from home, from your P-Brain agent to, your teammates, to your coach, to the fan base, to everything. It's a big burden, and then there's the seeping doubt when you're a guy that's getting paid really well, right? And you're not producing. So, especially in a big moment like this, you're in the middle of the NCAA tournament, you're trying to chase a third national title in 4 years. You've been trying to be a significant contributor. You're just not playing well. You are playing with fire to an extent there. Mm-hmm. And, I get it. It's also big boy basketball. You know what I mean? Like, but it's not, we're not talking about this is in January or December. This is the Sweet 16. There's 16 teams left, and maybe the strongest regional I can remember in recent years. This is a
and I guess the only piece additional I would say to that, and I got to talk quieter, I just got yelled at, but the only additional piece I would say is, like, I don't think the team's upside without Solo is national champion caliber. I don't think this team can win 6 games unless he's out there shooting 40% from 3. This team is largely built around the offense and the motion offense that we run. You need shooters for that to be effective. I mean, Terrace is not going to be able to go out consistently and do what he did against Furman. I think he can be better than he was tonight, but this team is not, 2024 where, one of those guys really just fell apart. They had a 14-point buffer. Like, this team needs really the top 7 guys. And at this point, I would include, kind of Ross and Ryla in that equation along with the starters, but to be humming. And without that, I just don't see it getting there. So, you can, I would say, if, to your point, if you can empty the tank to get the championship, empty the tank. If that means Solo transfers, whatever. But I don't see that as an option. Like, I don't think emptying the tank with Solo to the side is going to get you a banner. So I would say he has to be in that lineup because it has to turn around. Otherwise I don't like what this team has going for it in DC. I think we can compete with Michigan State, but whether it's St. John's or whether it's Duke, we're going to need him, to hit shots. And I hope he does. I think he will. I think he's an awesome player. I think he will do it, but, we got to give him the opportunity. So that's my piece for the evening. I appreciate you guys, and you guys all have a wonderful night.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
This is disgrace, Hurley Mania.
Oh, it's so wonderful. It's just nice to, finally be in the seat of power.
It's so bad that you're being platformed like this. I don't know if
anybody has the video of them talking about my tweet on the post-game show. Net America. Welcome in.
Yeah. CBS's March Madness show is spreading Hurley Mania propaganda.
The pregame when they asked Bruce Pearl about 8 Mile, and it was just the most predictable. Like, he has no clue what the movie is, who Eminem is. So I just tweeted Bruce Pearl, not an Eminem guy. That's the tweet that somehow shows up on the broadcast. They're welcome. By the way, a little brief thing, because CB Report mentioned the gambling side of it. The Friday game opened Michigan State favored by 1.5. It has already moved to UConn favored by 1.5. So already a 2-point movement in UConn's favor in the opening hour and a half here. So for those who
I think Nerd Spread's just going to be 1 for Michigan State.
It's going to just be 1. It's going to be 1. So we'll see where this goes. Obviously, with the numbers beyond that, I was trying to game out what a UConn Duke line would be, knowing full well that it's going to be UConn St. John's. It just feels destined in a weird way to happen.
I mean, it's going to be Duke, Michigan State on Sunday night.
Yeah,
you said that.
It's CBS's wet dream. It would probably be around Duke by 8 or 9 if it was UConn Duke. Oh, if we got UConn Duke and UConn was a 9.5 point underdog, hot balls.
Does that make you all hot and bothered?
No. The last time UConn was a 9.5 point underdog.
I know. 99.
Let's get there. Let's get there first. So we'll see where we go. But another thing I tweeted, I should mention it on the show, that Dan did confirm post game, basically that the Silas minutes restriction was 20 minutes tonight. So 20 was the number. And Silas finished on 22. So
okay.
He said post game it was 20 and he played him 22 minutes. So Dan is nothing if not consistent. So yeah, hopefully this week Silas can just not have that. It goes without saying. So yeah, that was good to hear that there is a number, and it'd be great to get Jalen Stewart back involved, but I'm not expecting it at this point. It just sucks, but
yeah, we'll figure it out. All right, we got time for one more cash fraud. Bring us home.
Hello.
Hi.
How about those refs?
Dude, Brian O'Connell was really bad. I think Sermons was the other bad one. He was just calling dumb shit under the basket every time. Yeah, that was basically held together by one ref, because the other two were just terrible.
Shouts to Bart Lennox.
Yeah. I think I misidentified one of them in a tweet earlier, but yeah, I think Lennox was the one that was holding the entire thing together.
Well, he's a Big Ten SEC ref, so he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. What does the Sermons do? SEC mostly.
Sermons, who is the number 1 rated ref on KenPom, by the way, is a Big 12 guy, a Big 12 and a Big 10 guy. He did the Big 12 title game.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that was how, Terrace, I thought, just did what he had to do, just cleaning the boards tonight. UCLA is not a great rebounding team, and he took full advantage of that despite getting held. But I thought he was really important on the glass tonight. Mally, with only having 2 turnovers in 31 minutes, was great. Braylon starting to find it, and then Alex just taking over, playing free, was great to see. I think on the Solo thing, I agree that it would be a very aggressive strategy to take him out of the starting lineup. And Dan is more of a conservative coach with making those. But I would counter the last caller by saying that it might be the right decision, just because it also does put a toll on Solo. I think he's a smart kid. I think he can feel the weight of knowing that he's kind of I think he knows he's letting the team down in a certain aspect, and it's not I love Solo. He's been great for UConn. Even as a freshman, when he had to step in when Castle got hurt, and he gave us everything we could have needed as an inexperienced freshman at the time. He's been tremendous. But I think he's sort of feeling that pressure and getting it in his own head because of it. And putting him on the bench might actually take some pressure off of him. But I agree that it is a risky strategy, and that's not usually Dan's MO.
Yeah, I just don't think Dan's going to do it. So I'm just about, can we get Jaden Ross 25 to 30 minutes? And that will come down to the fouls that Jaden, he got a really weird whistle tonight. But if he can stay out of foul trouble, he should play 30 minutes in this game. The guard play they've got, the size they've got to Michigan State, it's going to need his defensive abilities. So it's really for me more about what we get from Jaden than what Solo is letting down or whatever. Like I just want Jaden on the floor, please.
And one of the things that like really stood out to me, like where you could just tell that Solo was going through it mentally, was I think it might have been the fifth three he took, like the last three he took, and it's like the balls are bouncy, and it came right back to him, and he just didn't follow his shot at all, and like he's kind of got like his body, his posture is just like he's just down on himself, like visibly, like if he just stays engaged and follows his shot, like that's 2 points or an assist right there.
Yeah, it looked like he looked like somebody doing a shooting drill in the middle of it. Yeah, I just couldn't believe that none of them went down. I thought the third one was at least going to go down. This kid's in hell with his shot right now. But the fan base please get off his fucking back on social media, guys. That won't help. That will only make it worse. If anything, Dan with the bear pictures for Terrace, if you want to just tweet some love at Solo, it can't hurt. Because for all Dan's guys need to stay off social media, breaking news, they're not going to.
No, and the thing,
they won't either.
And the thing with Solo is like, for me, it's all like very explainable. Like I can see the trajectory in Solo. Like it's not like he was very intentional in the off season and trying to improve his defense, improve his ball handling, and improve his finishing, and he did all of those things. But he's just had a very bad shooting season. And now that stuff is starting to affect the rest of his play, and it just sucks to watch because I know that he worked his butt off, and it just didn't work. Like it's just not working right now.
Yeah, it's super frustrating. I'm sure he put in the work. He was better defensively, and just the ball hasn't gone in the hole. It's a really simple thing, and it sucks. It's the thing he's been doing all his life to some degree, never like as bad as this. And it's just, I can't imagine what it's like. It's kind of what we talked about with the Braylon stuff. It's like your whole life, you're the unguardable guy. And then you get up to this level and you realize everybody else is that. And it's a really hard adjustment. And for Solo, he's been here 3 years, won 2 rings and everything, and was huge early in the first half of 24 when they were dealing with the injury to Steph Castle. Building great, was really good against Carolina. And now it's just, this hasn't gone exactly the linear progression you would have thought. But there's still a huge role for him to play. And you just got to stick with the process and the fundamentals and keep your shooting base fine, and it will go in. And Dan Hurley believes in that. So get off his fucking back on Twitter because he had a rough night, would be my advice to everybody else.
Yeah, that was it's like a very obvious case of non-linear progression, and he's going to snap out of it and be a beast eventually. So yeah, rally around him. I wanted to talk about the Michigan State a little bit because the exhibition, that was like a very strange game because UConn just led that wire to wire. I don't anticipate that the rematch will be similar, maybe, because I don't know how much you can really take from an exhibition like that. I mean, Jeremy Fears had 6 assists and 6 turnovers in that. I assume he'll be better in the next matchup.
Did you count up the free throws for those who forgot?
For the exhibition game?
There were 70 free throws.
Yeah. I knew we took a lot. And we shot it pretty well and they didn't. So I'm just saying don't get too caught up in those results because it's going to be a war.
Yeah. By the way, that was Potter, Zelk, and Gaffney.
Yep.
If you want to look ahead to the refs. Yeah, it's funny to me that exhibition is now a Sweet 16 game. It's just
run it back, run. I guess that's what we're gonna do the whole rest of the way. By the way, crazy statistic. Fanta just pointed out. A guy named Jared Burson threw this out. Terrace Reed ends up with 41 points and 40 rebounds this weekend in Philadelphia. First player to go 40-40 in the opening weekend of the tournament since Tim Duncan in 1997. He was okay.
It's pretty good company.
Marginal.
It's a good name, yeah. And that what I wanted to get you guys' opinion on this, but do you think that it's more likely if UConn and St. John's meet each other in the Elite Eight that it'll be such an intense matchup that it'll be a letdown for their next games? Or do you think it will be the type of matchup that whoever wins, it will fuel to a national champion?
My brain cannot even comprehend a game beyond that one. Cannot. We'll all be dead. So what's the point? Win or lose?
I just think it's going to be another blowout. I don't know who's going to get it blown out. I don't know who's going to get the cane this time. I mean, it says they should be getting it this time, but somebody's going to get smacked. And I just think, and I said this on the night of the Big East Championship, like the way these rosters are constructed, there's no world where these two teams are capable of playing a close game against each other. I just think it's whoever gets out, rips off a good hot start, gets a team in a hole, and just beats them lifeless. It's like two huge power punchers.
5 minutes in. Yeah.
You know, like it's just they're just two huge power punchers that are going to go out and throw as many haymakers as they can, and one guy is going to get hit, and the other guy isn't going to get hit, and the guy that gets hit is going to go on a magic carpet ride, and that's going to be that. I think it'll be just like the Big East Championship. I think we'll know in 10 minutes where this thing's going. I don't expect there to be any drama that way. But what I will say is it'll be interesting to see what the officiating crew is going to be for that game. I would just laugh if they gave us the Three Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Just all at once. Imagine if they just sent Potter and Breeding and O'Connell to the East region next week just to fuck it all up.
You know, that's what Val wants, too, because we want our officials to be recognized and all this.
Yeah. Probably going to give them they're probably going to let us cut the nets down. Or St. John's, if they win it, they're going to let the refs cut the nets down. Look what they did. Great job.
I would be shocked if BOC or Potter advanced to the Sweet 16, let alone an Elite Eight, but who knows?
That reminds me, my actual favorite thing of tonight's disaster was when they made sure to issue the double administrative warning for the teams not being out of the huddle at the second buzzer. So glad that was what they focused on. They were just really on the bubble tonight for what really mattered, what we were all here for.
They've been pretty by the book on a lot of things. Like they've been giving out flagrants like candy. They give out a non-contact technical in the Tennessee-Virginia game. So they have been calling it by the book.
Yeah, it did very much to the book, and it's a different situation, as we know, when you get in the tournament versus when you're in the Big East. Should it be? No. Is it? Yes. No.
Fuck books. It's books for pussies. Get in the gym.
It's like the NHL does the same thing in the playoffs. It's like a totally different sport.
They say it isn't. It's the funniest thing. I'm like, this is such a lie. We all are watching this.
Yeah.
We know what's happening.
Yeah. I mean, all right. I didn't really have anything else. Just let you guys get some sleep. We all probably need it.
Yes. And one game we didn't touch on. I mean, Alabama just nuked Texas A&M. Just a really shitty end of the year for Texas A&M with the injury, and it's part of why you got to appreciate what we have right now. Even with Silas going through this, is like, you know, a storybook season can come to an end in a half second because of something fluky happening. And it's also why I have so much respect for what TJ and Iowa State did today. They lost Jefferson and they just nuked Kentucky off the face of the planet anyway.
Dude, I was actually sad for Kentucky watching that game. Like that team is
not as sad as they were for themselves by the looks of it.
They just are not I don't know what they do in practice.
They're badly coached. Owe is going to go down just like the fact that I can't remember his name proves my point. Who was the center when they lost to St. Peter's? Who was the returning player of the year, basically?
Oh, Z? No, that's Big Z.
No, not Big Z.
Yeah, what's his
That was another one of those. I know. That is a program that is a mess right now.
Doesn't that prove the point, though? Otega Owe should have been a lock All-American with just basic coaching. He's an incredible player. He had the amazing shot the other night. And just doesn't come close to approaching within 100 feet of the ceiling of what he should be as a player for reasons Oscar Tshiebwe was the other player.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about good old
Just
Oscar
another
Tshiebwe.
example, he comes back with NIL, which is great, and just doesn't get better. And under a coach who is having a whale of a year and is way better of a coach than who they have now. Congrats on running Cal out of town. Be careful what you wish for.
It was a bad weekend for the Blue Bloods. Had we got
Darius
knocked off, it
Acuff
would have been a blue blood bloodbath this weekend. It was very close to that. Kansas
Darius
got bounced.
Acuff would be popular in Lexington this year.
Oh,
I can't even imagine Darius Acuff trying to guard Jaden Bradley.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know what that's going to look like.
We're gonna find the fuck out. But yeah, not a good. Sorry, Hot Balls, I cut you off. The Blue Bloods.
yeah, this was a tough one. North Carolina goes down. Kansas goes down. Kentucky goes down. Duke got wobbled this weekend. We were fine.
Twice.
We made it through.
Indiana not.
Florida
present.
got capped. This is a tough weekend for winners,
I was gonna
traditional
say,
winners.
The Carolina side gets a little more interesting. I think tomorrow he's out. Sounds like it.
The show got canceled today.
Yeah.
No Hubert Davis show today. So, I don't think they're going to keep him.
No, and he's not very good, but it's amazing how the story was like the NIL's tight because they got all the money to football and they just, with the boosters will not support the money to, give Hubert a bigger roster, but they will happily pay for his buyout. They will. The money could not be more present. They gave him an extension like 6 months ago and they didn't announce it. It was like a FOIA thing, which is always a really good sign when you don't announce the contract extension that you signed. So yeah, that athletic department is a complete fucking mess. Outside, the women's basketball team's doing well before UConn ends that next week. Just a total clusterfuck. It's going to be fascinating, great for our guy Sage to see where they go.
Apparently there's been a little actual smoke to Billy Donovan.
It makes sense. I believe it at this point. You make so much more money in the NBA, but like how many years of being the fucking 9 seed in the East? Like, where are we going? For a terrible owner. The only good thing about working for that owner is he will give you a contract for $30 million every 5 years. Your team won't get better. Your team probably won't get worse because you're good enough. You won't get any real talent and you'll just exist. And that's the thing about college that has the juice, man. It's like this week, next week, it's just the heart on the line shit. The basketball isn't as good as the NBA. I won't claim it is, but is Billy Donovan bored? Wouldn't he have a right to be at this point?
What's the word? Like, is Calhoun going to survive this another cycle?
No, I think Jared Calhoun is definitely going to be the coach at Cincinnati by Wednesday. Okay. Definitely.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, which is a great hire for them. Wes Miller is official to Charlotte. It's a good hire.
It's a great landing spot for him.
It is. It's really good. He'll do well there. So, but yeah. So no, Carolina's now looking for a coach. Kansas, I don't think it's going to be Jacques Vaughn, but will Bill Self be back or will it be Jacques Vaughn? So, that.
I look pretty tired after the game today, man.
Yeah, just this.
What a season, dude, for them.
I thought
just long.
Yeah.
It's a long, needlessly dramatic, drawn out, frustrating shit show of a season for Kansas. Ends in about as heartbreaking a way as you could imagine.
Yeah, because they figured
Dylan Darling layup,
and they figured it out the last 8-9 minutes. If that game was another minute long,
it's wild because that was like the only possible outcome where it wasn't kind of like UConn last year. It was like, you know what, we ended on a good note. As weird as this has been, nope. Just if you're gonna give the fouls, you got to have one left in case Flory decides he's going to go guard somebody in the stands.
Yeah, and that tweet, Seth Davis saying that Rick Pitino was like looked solemn after it happened. That was not out of respect. That was Bill Self and Rick Pitino both trying to not have heart attacks.
Oh God, this is going to be the worst Seth Davis week we've ever endured.
Yeah, Rick's done a whale of a job with him. Let's be honest, and that was that was a pulling Bill Self's pants down moment because they like the fouls to give. I was okay with it. It made sense. But at that point, it's forced. They're just going to attack the rim, and you better be fucking in front of him. And give Darling a ton of credit, man. The only shot he hit all day was the only one they needed. So, and he still stinks. But, I mean, if he didn't stink, they wouldn't have needed the shot. They wouldn't have almost blown a 15 point. But he made the one that mattered, man. And it's he called his own number in the huddle. I respect the hell out of that. That's the kind of confidence I like in a player, no matter how bad it's going. So, and by the other thing they've got going, St. John's now for the juice is like Bryce Hopkins looks a lot more like Bryce Hopkins now. He was nice, 6 of 9 from 3 today, which was insane.
With that knuckleball shot.
Yeah, if they're starting to get Bryce from 2 years ago, look out. Like they've got the juice right now.
You can't let Bryce Hopkins have open vision to the basket. Like if he has time to line up a shot, he's kind of a knockdown shooter, and you don't get that from the 31% on the season.
I mean, he only took, well, it was a shortened year. It's wild because he took like 53s in entire seasons at Providence, and then he takes 9 today and hits 6. It's a testament to coaching. So
they've just got to play him more on the wing instead of at the 4, which is where he should be. It's a fucking gigantic wing.
Yeah, I don't know how you guard that. Like,
I'm not weird
on Alex. I mean, good luck.
It's a funky guy to have to guard, but yeah, I mean, it was a fascinating day. You know, Ben McCollum is a dude, man. That guy's going to be a really good coach. They've been a little bit of a glass cannon at Iowa this year, but I think they're going to get better with him. That guy can coach.
What were the results from Iowa, Nebraska during the regular season?
I'll tell you right now.
I
think they I think they split.
Yeah, they split. The home team won each game. Nebraska lost 57-52 at Iowa, and they won 84-75 in OT in the last game of the regular season.
Imagine Nebraska basketball and Indiana football in the same year.
Yeah. And that's going to be a Nebraska building. Like we were all, Houston in the Houston.
I don't know. Iowa will travel too, man.
Houston won't. Like the home court thing is why I was never that worried about it. It was like Houston doesn't have that many fans, and they do not have as many as Nebraska. These people are positively, in a good way, psychotic. They are going to pack that building out. Iowa's going to try, but Nebraska's going to get them beat. It's just, they're crazy. This is their all-time team right now. And it's been, last night, holy smokes, Vandy, Nebraska. Holy shit. That was,
this was probably the game of the tournament.
Yeah.
I thought
Tanner
was in. I can't believe that shot bounced out. I'm floored by it.
I think that's going to be a fascinating regional. I think Illinois and Houston's going to be an awesome game.
The whole left side of the bracket, the matchups are great, and then the right side, it's like they're good matchups, but like it's just such a letdown from the left side.
It's an Arizona coronation.
Yeah,
it's all coming together, hot balls.
Yeah, I think they're going to absolutely snap Purdue in half.
Yes,
I think they are going to chop Braden Smith into a million little pieces, and they're going to feed him to Matt Painter, and then kick them down the stairs. Yeah.
You don't think that plucky Texas team has any shot?
That Texas team is almost an exact replica of our team last year, statistically.
Really?
Remember when we were all mad that game was?
Yeah, they're 81st in defense. They're 15th in offense. There's nobody that's more upset his team is still in the field than Sean Miller right
He's
now.
so mad. He can't believe he has to keep doing this. He's furious. He's furious that
he's going to skip the Final Four if they somehow get there. He's just going to be like, I'm not going.
You guys figure it out. I'll give you the keys. We're good. I mean, I do think it'll be Arizona, but the thought of Darius Acuff and versus Braden Smith, that could be funny. I've been wrong a lot though about point guards, so we'll see.
Miami kind of gave Braden Smith some trouble today.
Yeah, because they have athletic players.
Yeah, big athletic guards.
When has that ever been a problem for Braden Smith other than the last 4 years?
I don't know.
Everyone acts shocked by it when it happens. The train's never late. It always shows up. We'll see. when it shows up. And once again, a wonderfully broken bracket for Matt Painter.
Gotta love Tennessee, too, getting through. What if this ended up being like a Tennessee-Alabama regional final?
Well, we kind of got the LA regional.
Imagine if this is the Matt Barnes team that finally breaks through, gets to the Final Four.
Matt Barnes, that'd be interesting. Rick Barnes, yeah.
Rick Barnes, Jesus Christ, I said Matt Barnes.
Just in time.
So I used to say Matt all the time.
Has there been any updates on Jefferson? Are we just assuming he's not playing? Or
no, but it didn't look great.
Yeah,
it didn't seem like they were even thinking about it today. So I don't think 5 days is going to make that better, which really sucks. Obviously, first team All-American kind of guy. I just don't know with Iowa State every year. They look like it. They look like it in games like they did today, and then something fucking weird happens, and
they really looked like they were lacking playmaking without him on the court early in that game, and then Mark Pope just couldn't coach his way out of a paper bag. And then once he made the adjustments to do that, his team had just given up.
Yeah, at that point they were down 16 to Iowa State.
Yeah,
the baying crowd. So, go get them. Yeah, nobody's ever been more on the hot seat earlier than Mark Pope is right now. So
yeah, and he had a guy at the free throw line and another guy in the dunker spot, like standing basically shoulder to shoulder. Like, you can't make it any easier for Iowa State to trap you.
Yeah,
there's no spacing.
This weird stagger they were running. I was like, I don't even know what that is.
It was horrible. It was horrible.
Yeah, they just look disorganized, and the fan base is pissed. But it's Mark Pope's sport now, we were told. So, what a sport it is. I think it's high life at this point. Thank you very much, Cash Fraud. Hot Balls, I know you're fading. I don't want to drag this out on you.
I'm a mess. Yeah. I'm dying. I'm fine.
Friday night, we get to ride the lightning one more time.
We're just never going to do a show before 11:30 at night. Like,
a week from
God
tonight,
just can't give us a 9. Just give us a nice night, nice and tidy, neat 9. No, never.
And if UConn's in that regional final next week against whoever it is, that will be a 5:45 p.m. Sunday game. That will be the second game. That will absolutely be the last spot. So, it's not as late as this, but that pencil that in. UConn is playing at 5:45 on Sunday if they win Friday. They should just announce it now. If it's St. John's or if it's Duke, either way. If we're not in it, we don't care. But if it's even if it's Michigan State, St. John's, I think it's probably that spot. If it's Michigan State, Duke, it's definitely that spot. If it's UConn, Duke, it's definitely that spot. If it's UConn, Michigan State, bloodbath for the bloodening, that's definitely that spot. So if you're looking to plan ahead your schedule, your weekend, there you go.
Oh, good God, dude. This is going to be the worst Seth Davis week ever.
Hey, I'm glad we have to acknowledge it, though.
Just everybody dunk on Seth Davis all week. Go at it. Just dunk on him. If you're dunking on somebody else, tag him.
Don't be kind. Please don't be kind.
Do not be kind to Seth Davis. He's the fucking worst. It is just going to be a Tom Izzo blowjob for the next 5 days. A never-ending, disgusting, shameless Tom Izzo water-carrying festival like you've never seen in your life. And if we beat them, it's going to be Rick Pitino and John Shire. You just couldn't. Oh, I hate that guy so much.
There's an incredible potential for us to eat lots of shit here. Stare into it. Do not fear it.
I can't stand that guy. I hate him. Nobody's worse for college basketball than Seth Davis. He's like the epitome of everything that I hate about the sport.
He'll say at some point this week that this regional is why they need to expand the tournament. I don't know how he's going to pitch it, but it's coming. Yep. They want to touch this thing. It's insane after the week we've had. Why would you change any of it? What is
it's
wrong
so perfect
with you?
too.
What is wrong with you if you think this needs fixing? We need to sprucing this up with Auburn's presence. It's a perfect sporting event. It was an amazing weekend of basketball. We lived through it. but so many great moments through it. Shout to Husky Hops. I mean, he's probably asleep. But I mean, High Point last night almost fucking did it, which would have been crazier than what they did against Wisconsin. High Point, the Vandy Nebraska game, what Miami of Ohio did. Sorry, Abby, for the first game anyway, I guess.
Texas trying to pretend like they're Cinderellas is funny.
Yeah,
much against their coach's protests.
Mark Few being furious about it. Yeah, no, it's the best sporting event. There's nothing like it, and I'm also enjoying it because it's the last year before they totally fuck it up. So let's win the last one that really counts, huh? How about we do that?
I think they should just have a whole bracket for the brand name teams that are on TV all the time. They should get special treatment. Just got an automatic bye to the Final Four. They're going to turn it into a ladder. I'm so bitter and sick right now. I need to go to bed.
All right.
Enough of this.
We'll be back.
Go guzzle some NyQuil. Hallucinate.
Ruminate.
Marinate. Pollinate.
I was going to say prostrate, but that doesn't really work.
The Connecticut Basketball Space's Thesaurus Club over here.
There you go. Accepting nomination.
Well, all right. We're getting out of here. We'll see you guys.
There you go. I time it. There we go. Got there.
Did we get to 2 hours on the dot?
Yeah,
oh my God. Come on. Jesus. Another 2 hour show, you lucky bastards. And you're going to get another one, at least one more, maybe two. Who knows? Maybe four.
I mean, if they beat St. John's next week, that's at least 4 hours, right? I'm let's be honest.
Yeah. So anyways, we'll see you again on Friday night, guys. Probably sometime after midnight. UConn tries to get back to the Elite Eight. 2 wins away from Indianapolis, folks. 2 easy wins. No big deal.
Cheap ticket.
We got this. Cheap ticket. Family entertainment at its finest. And speaking of family entertainment, we'll be back to you guys after the game Friday night and to recap whatever the hell it is that's going to happen between Michigan State and UConn in the Sweet 16. But until then, folks, thanks as always for listening. Hope you enjoyed tonight's show. And until Friday night, folks, you know the deal. Keep in touch with yourselves. Good night, everybody.